Hi, I'm Richard from the Phoenix Society. Kyle, Tony, also from the Phoenix Society, and we're here to help KRON with our understanding of Singlestick and Saber. So for safety purposes, you need to use your fingers, so lacrosse glove will be fine. And for the most part, let's just keep the left hand out of the picture. We're going to start off with our Purple Heart Synthetics. The Purple Heart Synthetics have kind of more realistic guards, so you can start sniping the hands a little bit better. They have a nice curve and they're cheap. They're about $135. The problem is if you swing too hard with these things, because they're synthetic, they'll bounce a bit and kind of change the dynamic. So keep that in mind that all our sparring tools have advantages and disadvantages. We're going to work on footwork first, how to cut, and then we'll kind of show you what a fight looks like. So the first thing is they're going to show you Milanese, which is when they just kind of spin the sword. So power. Go ahead and take each other to Milanese. We'll do it a couple times. Okay. All they're doing is they're curving their wrists and using their fingers to move the blade around to get more power. When they finally deliver the cut, the last three fingers clench. That'll throw the handle into the palm, and it should come in with a little bit of pop. You want to demonstrate? Okay, pretty easy. Besides Milanese, you can just do arm cuts, where you'll just power it with the elbow essentially. So. When you want to use really powerful Milanese, you can go over the head. Right? And then you can do little tap cuts. Okay, I don't like those as much because I think for the heavier blades, they don't make as much sense, but they show up more often with the lighter stuff like the Singlestick. Because these blades are curved, you have to keep aware of that they get behind guards pretty easily. These hands are exposed. Tony can advance, strike over here, and take that hand out. Kyle has to parry, and what he's going to do is going to turn his blade out. He's got to come out a good distance. Right? If he does it too tight, Tony can then curl his sword, still take the hand, rotate it, and start stabbing around corners. Because he got that curve. So we want to make sure that we parry out. We're going to do it from this angle so you can kind of see. So to cut his hand on the inside, other way. And he's out far enough that Tony can't get around his guard. Easy peasy. Okay. So when you guys use your footwork, because it's a linear system, we're not going to use the left hand at all. You're going to do simple advances, keep bouncing on your feet. As for toe forward or toe back, I really don't care right now. Just make sure you're bouncing on your feet. So when you launch an attack, you can extend. See that? And then if the attack hits or fails, we don't really care. We leave. In and out, in and out. Right. And that way you can get into measure, out of measure. For guards and blocking, we already kind of covered some, but it's real basic stuff. If you're going to be attacked on this side, roll your sword out. The more curved it is, be careful so they can't go around it. On the inside, for the head, we want to make a ramp. That's the thing you have to always remember. We want to make a ramp of our sword. Tony strikes at Kyle's head. Kyle's made a ramp on purpose so this sword slides down and he can do a response. Up. It goes to Tony. And Tony can ramp in the other direction as well. See that? And he's just holding it up and he's throwing it over his right shoulder and he's blocked here like so. Which is good, so that he can do a response. Probably aiming for hands and head. You're not going to get a lot of body shots, so you should be mostly around the hands area and the head. We have no hand guard, right? For the thrusts, they're curved, so you just have to remember that the measure might be a bit misleading. Right. The sword is curved, so we can thrust around things, keeping that in mind. For our basic guards, we're going to turn Tony to face the camera. We're going to keep Kyle here. And the first guard we're going to do is just your basic middle guard here. Hand is exposed, but we're ready to jerk that back if we need to. The tip is up. It's not pointed at the opponent because this isn't really a thrusting weapon. This thing wants to be cut. We're ready to Milanese or pop as needed. Go away. It's like a Italian cleaner by distance. then we can bend back. I've used this quite a bit in order to keep myself covered. You easily pass back and forward if needed into a different guard. Over the leg. From here, we still have to watch the hand. So the tendency is people just lift their hand up. It doesn't work. You pull it back like you're drawing a sword. This will keep you covered and safe. With a hand guard, you won't need to do that. Without one, you do, or you're going to get your hands stuck. So we're going to set these guys up and let them do a little bit of sparring. So you can see what it looks like with these polar sabers. And then we're going to switch to steel, or aluminum, and then switch to the single stick where we have a hand guard and it kind of changes something. Okay, notice the guards. There's a Molinet. They acknowledge, and they're going to keep going at it. Just keep fighting, guys. I'll tell you when to stop. Oh! Okay, so now they're using the aluminum swords, and they have better hand protection, so that'll change things. Notice they're trying to stick in the guards that we showed you. Using a series of Molinets, elbow powered cuts, and occasionally a wrist cut. See that curve? I was able to do that. It's kind of cool. Good? Yeah. I'll do one more. Okay, with single stick, things are a little different. The tools change. Our hand's pretty well protected. Some single sticks have an even more robust guard. This goes more like Highland Saber and a little less than Polar Saber. That's okay. We have straight blades, so we can't do some of the stuff that the curve does. What we're going to do here is we're going to fight kind of an older style. At first, everything goes. It's the same as before. There's Molinet, there's elbow power cuts, wrist cuts. Objectives hit each other kind of anywhere. One of the tactics is going for the legs doesn't work. In case you don't know this one, if someone tries to go for Tony's leg, Tony will slip his leg back and simply cut the opponent's arm. It could be a full pass back or just to the heel, leaning forward, and that's perfectly acceptable. As short as these things are, they shouldn't get a whole lot of leg shots. They should try to keep distance. As before, leaning in and out is pretty important. Because there's no curve here, Tony tries to strike over here on Kyle's side. Kyle doesn't need to cover by much. With a Saber, it might have to be way out here. Now, not so much, because there's nothing to really work around. Alright, so we're going to start off, everything goes, and then I'll change it. Back up a little bit higher.
You guys want to change styles?
Yeah, one more. Cool. So the next thing that we need to know is we're going to change the style up so that it's only from the waist up. Now one thing you might notice that it looked like Kyle was attacking the sword. It could be an evade a response. The other thing you do is you can throw a cut someone has to answer. So if I throw a cut at Tony's face, I know he's going to have to block that. From here I might think about, okay, what do I want to do? These swords are lighter, so you can do goofy stuff with them. With a big hollow saber, bam! It's going to take a little bit of time to come around. Feints are really hard. This is smaller and lighter. I throw that cut up, I can do that kind of stuff, where I bait his hand up to guard, turn his belly, and I lean back out. Not so much with the bigger swords, much easier with the lighter ones. We're going to spar again, and this time it's going to be from the waist only, and then we're going to alternate again. Okay. So it's a very light, quick weapon. You notice the guard that mostly hung out in was just a nice, medium neutral guard. Probably the best bet if you do this fast little single stick. So the next thing we're going to do is, it's a game essentially. What we do is we extend our sword out, we lean just a bit, we can hit each other on the head, back up, and our feet aren't allowed to move. They're nailed to the ground. So the way the fighting's going to work is you're really close to each other. Right? And I'm throwing a variety of attacks. It could be up towards his head this way, left to right, this way, and I'm doing various parries. I don't always just parry like this. I take that towards my head over here and I do this. That's fine, I want that ramp response. You may cut over here, and I do this. I want that ramp response. You may cut over here, probably my best bet. And I may want to take the arm as I go. He may feint me. He goes to my head. Alright? So you put him into position.
A little closer.
Cool. So neither of the feet can move. We're going to start pretty slow first, so you can kind of see what it looks like. But it's a good game for hand speed, and then you can work in movement later. And then finally, same game. We're shooting each other in the head. And now headshots only. Still can't move. I'm gonna go in now. Okay, much harder. And you'll build up hand speed and be able to lean in and out, work all your stuff in. So, kind of the basics. We got our footwork, it's pretty simple. It's mostly lead leg forward, don't pass too often. Yes, you can go sideways. Got the basic cuts down, got the basic guards down. Not much to it. You can alter the game however you guys want to kind of do what you want. You want to get your hand speed built up, heads only, free. You want something more realistic, hold targets down, make sure you can move around. Be a little bit cautious on the thrust. Move the stick. There's no give to it. Other than that, I think you guys have a good place to start.